how many times do I have to say it? Ghosting should not be a thing in 2023. It just absolutely should not.
There's just too many ways to communicate these days.
And you don't even have to, deliver the blow face to face anymore. It's just a text saying whatever it's going to say is better than nothing at all.
No, we came up with the perfect text.
We came up with 15 perfect texts.
We did, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yes.
One text.
That are non-offensive, that just let the other person know that, hey, I don't want to leave you hanging here, but I'm just not feeling it. I'd rather hear that than nothing at all, right?
I couldn't agree more.
So when we're doing these second date updates now, when people are still ghosting, it's infuriating. And Olivia here wants to know, what happened? Because she felt like she met a dude, checked all the boxes, everything went great on their date, and now dude just gone. Hey, Olivia.
Hey.
All right, so who is this guy? What happened? And what got us here?
Yeah, so, okay. I met this guy, Ethan, a couple months ago, and I've been crushing on him ever since. I met him at a friend's party, and we just really hit it off. We were obsessed with all the same things. We both really loved indie music. We are both super into the environment. We've even been to the same rallies without realizing it. We both read the same books. Just everything was clicking. It was great. And so after the party, I went home and I followed him on social media, and I just internet fell in love with him all over again. And so we met up again, actually a couple of weeks later at a friend's party. And the same thing happened. Just everything was clicking and great. And at the end of the party, he asked me for my number. And so after a week of texting and flirting and just continuing to get to know each other a little bit more, he asked me out on a date. And so we went to this adorable, charming Italian restaurant, and it was just the perfect date. Conversation was flowing. We were laughing constantly. There was just we were obviously into each other. There was undeniable chemistry. After dinner, we took a walk in the park and we ended up kissing, which is something that I never do on a first date. It was just like you said, he checked all the boxes. It was amazing. He told me that he would text me within the next week and we could set up a second date. So I knew that things were mutual. And a week and a half goes by and I don't hear from him. And so I texted him. I was like, hey, I had such a great time. Can't wait to see you again. Just opening the door for him. And literally nothing, no response. And so I'm just so confused. I was sure that we were on the same page. I don't know if I did something wrong or what was going on. I thought about asking our mutual friend if she could reach out and do some digging. But I knew that you guys did this program, so I figured I'd ask you guys to help out.
You described what sounds like the perfect first date.
I know. I'm over here. I'm jealous.
Right?
Straight out the movies, it seemed like.
Yeah.
Which almost makes me think there's somebody else in the picture that he is not telling her about and had to bail quickly. Is that what you're getting?
That's what I'm thinking. Because, if you can't pinpoint anything on the date that would have went wrong, or disagreement or anything like that at all, and it was as perfect as you say, the problem has to come from somewhere other than you. That's what I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to turn this on over to our show director, Tommy, who has been either texting or emailing dude back and forth about where he went and why he ghosted. And he's got some answers for you.
I do.
Okay.
I texted Ethan, and we went back and forth a little bit, but I convinced him to be blunt and honest about why he ghosted. And this is what he said. He said, "You're right. I should have been more upfront about it. The truth is, during our date, she kept bringing up her ex, which made me uncomfortable. I understand that people can be nervous on first dates and might not even realize they're doing it, so I tried to ignore it at first. However, curiosity got the better of me, and I decided to do a little digging to figure out who this guy was. I found her ex on social media and noticed that she still comments on all his posts. I'm sure you can imagine that made me question whether she's truly moved on from him or not. The part I really don't want to admit, but I guess I will, I felt a bit inferior to this guy. He seems to be better looking, more successful, and overall just more impressive than me. I started to wonder if she could really be interested in someone like me when she's had someone like him in her life. It made me question if it was worth investing my time and emotions into something that might only end up hurting me in the long run. So that's why I decided to ghost her. I hope she finds someone who can make her happy, but I don't think that person is me.
All right, there's a lot to chew on.
Yeah, because it sounds like it's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Olivia, how often do you communicate with your ex, and how did you guys part ways?
I am still in communication with my ex.
Mm-hmm.
We ended things amicably. We were together for 5 years, so like a very large chunk of time and a very large chunk of experiences. And so, like, if he comes up in conversation, it's because he was just a part of like that experience that I had. I should also say that we co-own a dog together still, so like we're still very much in each other's lives. And so that's that. If he had asked me that, then I could have just like explained that and had that out on the table.
It sounds very reasonable too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Also, like, I'm not that shallow where like I'm gonna like, choose someone who's like more attractive over someone that I connect with on like an emotional and deeper level. So like, I'm a little thrown off by all of this. I don't know if like I should reach out to him and explain this, or if like
is it worth it for her to do that?
Mm-mm.
Go ahead, Ma.
I don't think so. I mean, I think this is on both sides. Like Kristen said, I was with him as far as the bringing the ex up and the commenting on the ex. That probably would have made me a bit uneasy as well. But as far as the searching for him and then comparing yourself to him, I think he's admitting it, which is a good thing. But he has some insecurities that you can't necessarily fix. And I think you should see that as a red flag and probably just let this one go.
Abby, you're on the game here. What's up?
So my friend is actually going through something kind of similar. Olivia, she would be in your position where she just started dating a new guy, but she's still in communication with her ex. And he's actually really insecure about it too. So I don't know. I'm kind of on the guy's side here where if it was happening to me, I would question, are you over them? Are you ready for something new? But I think, Olivia, it's got to be up to you. Do the insecurities turn you off from this guy at all?
Yes, honestly, like that. I don't know if like I have the patience to kind of like coach someone through that.
Right. And here's the thing also, is just that I do think that now we live in a time where if you see one red flag, you don't even ask for clarification on that red flag. You go on Tinder and you start swiping again because there's so much quote unquote inventory, right? Mm. So he may have all these questions or insecurity, and I think a while back he might bring that up, but now it's just like, you know what? There's somebody else right around the corner. If I'm you, I'm bailing on this guy. I still don't think that there is any reason to ghost whatsoever. I think it's super disrespectful. I think he's already shown you that he's insecure. I think if you guys start going out, he is never going to get over this insecurity. And you've got a guy in your life that you're friendly with, and he's never going to be able to get over that.
Yeah, I think you're 100% right. I'm not sure it's worth my time.
What you think?
I don't know. I definitely think this is something they can work through, especially because, Olivia, you said you had such a great connection on your first date. I would hate for you to throw it away so quickly because this guy feels a little bit insecure, because I do that with guys that I'm dating where I'm like, oh my gosh, his ex was so beautiful. And because I struggle with self-esteem, I would count myself out. So I think you should really give this guy a second chance and maybe take a step forward and text him.
Abby makes some sense to me. I mean, because it can go both ways also. Like, if he did check all these boxes, then maybe you do give him a second chance going, okay, now I understand it, so can we at least talk about it? And if he bails on you then you think out completely?
Yeah, then you count him out. But I think it's too early in the game.
KK, you say second chance or done?
I was like Abby, because the way you spoke about him so glowingly in the beginning and how this connection that you had, it does seem sad that his own insecurities would get in the way of something that could be like a really beautiful relationship. But I think showing this side this early, it's going to be a long road ahead, and it's going to be a lot of work. So if you want to put the work in, go for it. If you don't, bye-bye.
Nope.
Weigh it out and ask yourself if there's something you can deal with if you think the chemistry was that good. But for me, all of those red flags of him being insecure and ghosting you on top of it as opposed to communicating would be enough for me to walk away.
All right, Olivia, let us know. I would love to hear back from you tomorrow, or email us and let us know what you did over the last 24 hours, okay?
Yeah, I definitely will. Thanks, guys.
All right, see you now.
Bye.
Oh, she's going to hit him back.
Definitely.
I hope so.
100%. We're going to hit that guy back. Give him a second chance. Especially if he did check all those boxes. She'll reach out to him.
The Bert Show.
So, first, thanks for watching. Second, you like what you just watched? That just scratches the surface. Get The Bert Show on any podcast platform. We're so good.